Every cheating wife thinks she's smarter than her husband, but psychology shows the opposite. The very tricks she uses to cover her tracks are the same moves that expose her. Most men are looking for the obvious signs of cheating. They check phones. They notice changes in appearance. They ask direct questions. But while you're doing that, she's already adapted. She's learned from every suspicious husband who came before you, and she's using techniques that are specifically designed to bypass your natural detection methods. Each trick builds on the others, creating a web of deception so sophisticated that most men never see the full picture until it's too late. These techniques work because they target fundamental aspects of how men think, how men trust, and how men interpret female behavior. By the time you finish watching this video, you'll understand why your gut has been screaming that something is wrong, but you've never been able to put your finger on exactly what it is. You'll finally have the vocabulary for the unease you've been feeling. But more importantly, once you understand these patterns, you'll never miss them again. Knowledge is power, and today you're getting power that most men never receive. Before I expose these secrets that could save your sanity, hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and tell me in the comments what city you're watching from. I want to see how far this truth reaches. Trick number 1, digital cleanup. The first trick is making her phone suspiciously perfect, and this is where most men make their biggest mistake. While you're looking for obvious signs like hidden messages or deleted calls, she's already 10 steps ahead of your basic checking methods, using techniques that would impress a professional spy. Here's what she actually does, and it's far more sophisticated than simple deletion. She removes specific conversations completely, not just individual messages that might look suspicious. But here's the clever part. She uses the archive function instead of permanent deletion because archived chats don't show up in your casual glances, but she can still access them whenever she needs to reference old conversations or continue ongoing affairs. The archive function is brilliant because it creates the perfect illusion. When you look at her message list, you see exactly what she wants you to see. Work conversations, family chats, friend groups. Meanwhile, the real evidence is hidden one click away in a section most men never think to check. She creates hidden contacts under female names or work-related titles. That Jessica from marketing contact might not be Jessica at all. It could be Michael from the gym, saved under a female name specifically to throw you off if you happen to see the contact list. She's thinking 3 steps ahead of your investigative methods, anticipating exactly how you'll check and preparing countermeasures. But it gets more sophisticated. She'll create contact groups that look innocent but contain affair partners. She might have a gym friends group that includes her affair partner alongside actual gym friends. This way, if you see group messages, the presence of the affair partner looks completely natural and innocent. She uses contact photos strategically. That male affair partner might have a female contact photo or a generic business photo that makes him look like a professional contact. She's not just changing names, she's creating entire false identities in her contact list. She clears call history selectively, which is more sophisticated than clearing everything. She removes only the numbers that would raise questions while leaving innocent calls visible. This creates the appearance of transparency while hiding the evidence that matters. She might even add fake calls to innocent contacts to make her call log look fuller and more normal. The real sophistication comes in her use of multiple communication channels. While you're checking WhatsApp and text messages, she's communicating through Instagram DMs, Snapchat, dating apps disguised as gaming apps, work platforms like Slack or Teams, fitness apps with messaging features, or even comment sections on social media posts that look like innocent public interaction but contain coded private communication. She uses the notification management systems on her phone like a professional. Different apps have different notification settings. Her affair communications might come through apps that don't show message previews, don't make sounds, or only vibrate with specific patterns she recognizes. She's essentially created a two-tier communication system where you see the surface level and she manages the hidden level. Here's what most men miss. She's not just hiding current affairs. She's maintaining digital relationships with multiple people simultaneously. That means she's not just covering one relationship. She's managing an entire network of emotional and physical connections, each with their own communication protocols and hiding strategies. The red flag you need to watch for. She says her phone is just messy, but it's suspiciously spotless when it comes to certain names or time periods. No message thread is naturally that clean unless it's been deliberately scrubbed. If her phone looks like it was cleaned by a professional digital forensics team, that's because it essentially was. But here's the psychological manipulation that makes this trick particularly effective. She knows that men check phones differently than women do. Men tend to look for obvious evidence and feel satisfied when they don't find it. Women know this about male behavior and exploit it ruthlessly. The psychology behind this is brilliantly manipulative. She knows that men check phones, so she makes them appear perfectly innocent in exactly the places you'd look first. She's not hiding everything. She's hiding specific things while making the rest hyper-visible to throw you off the scent. Think about it. When you see a few innocent work messages and some conversations with female friends, your brain registers, phone checked, nothing suspicious found. Meanwhile, the real evidence is archived, hidden under fake names, stored in apps you don't even know exist, or communicated through platforms you'd never think to check. The most dangerous part of this trick is that it trains you to stop checking. When you consistently find nothing suspicious, you gradually stop looking. She's essentially training you to trust her digital behavior by carefully controlling what you see. This creates a false sense of security that allows her to become more careless in other areas. What makes this particularly dangerous is that these techniques are constantly evolving. As new apps and communication methods become available, the methods for hiding communications evolve with them. By the time most men learn to check one hiding place, women have already moved to 3 new ones. The sophistication increases over time as well. A woman who starts with simple message deletion might gradually learn archiving, then contact manipulation, then multi-platform management, until she's operating a comprehensive deception system that would be impossible to detect without professional help. But the phone is just the beginning. Her body will betray her next. Trick number 3, sudden independence. Trick 3 is disguised as personal growth, making it particularly insidious and hard to challenge without seeming controlling. She suddenly needs space for what she calls personal development, and she's using the language of empowerment to cover betrayal. The manifestations follow a predictable pattern. She starts demanding more personal time and space, but it's not gradual. It's sudden and intense. She frames it using modern self-help language, self-care, girls' time, finding herself, or reclaiming her identity. Where she used to naturally share all her plans with you, now she wants privacy and independence that feels deliberately exclusionary. Here's the psychological manipulation at work. She frames it as growth, but it's really creating cover for secrecy. Healthy growth includes your partner and makes the relationship stronger. Secretive growth excludes them and weakens the relationship. She'll use phrases like, "I need to rediscover who I am," or "I've lost myself in this relationship." These phrases aren't necessarily lies, but they're being weaponized to justify behavior that has nothing to do with genuine self-improvement. The timing is crucial here. This sudden need for independence often coincides with other changes. New interests, new friends, new activities that don't include you. She might join a gym, take up hobbies, or start going out more frequently, all while emphasizing how important it is for her to do these things alone. What makes this particularly cruel is that she's using your respect for her autonomy against you. If you question this sudden need for space, she can paint you as controlling or possessive. She's essentially making it emotionally dangerous for you to voice legitimate concerns. The cruel irony is that this independence often coincides with her becoming completely dependent on validation from someone else. She's not finding herself. She's losing herself in another relationship while using the language of empowerment to cover it. Watch for the contradiction between her words and actions. If she's talking about independence while simultaneously becoming more secretive, more defensive, and more emotionally unavailable, the independence isn't genuine. Trick number 4, over-explaining. Number 4 is a classic psychological tell that most men interpret as thoroughness rather than deception. She gives you too many details when nobody asked. When someone is telling the truth, they typically provide just enough information to answer your question. But when someone is lying, they overcompensate with excessive detail, thinking that more information makes their story more believable. Listen for stories that include unnecessary specifics about timing, locations, and conversations. If she's explaining her afternoon and mentions every song that played on the radio, every person she saw at the store, and exactly how long she waited in line, she's likely covering something. The red flag is simple. Too many details equals deception. Honest people tell stories simply and directly. The psychology behind this is that she's subconsciously trying to convince herself as much as you. By building an elaborate backdrop of true details around a false narrative, she hopes to make the lie feel more real to both of you. Trick number 5, appearance shift. Trick 5 is perhaps the most visible sign, yet men often misinterpret it completely. She's suddenly glowing up, but not for you. The changes are usually dramatic. New style of clothing that's more attractive or attention-grabbing. A newfound confidence in her appearance. More time and money spent on grooming, makeup, and fashion. She buys clothes and accessories that she doesn't wear around you. Here's the brutal truth. This glow-up isn't for her husband. It's for someone else who's making her feel attractive again. When a woman is emotionally disconnected from her marriage, but connecting with someone new, she often experiences a renaissance of self-care and appearance focus. She's not doing it to spite you. She's doing it because someone else is making her feel desirable. The psychological mechanism is that new romantic attention triggers the same excitement and self-improvement drive that she felt in early relationships. She wants to look her best for the person who's currently making her feel special. But the real betrayal comes when she changes not her look, but her laughter. Trick number 6, redirected energy. Number 6 cuts deeper than physical changes because it involves emotional infidelity that often precedes physical affairs. Her emotional investment goes somewhere else. What happens is predictable but devastating. She stops sharing her thoughts, problems, and dreams with you. The emotional intimacy that once flowed naturally between you gets redirected to someone else. She becomes emotionally distant at home while becoming more animated and engaged elsewhere. Here's the painful reality. She isn't confiding in you anymore because she already has someone else to listen. This works because emotional connection often precedes physical connection. When she stops sharing her inner world with you, it's usually because she's already sharing it with someone else. You become a roommate rather than a partner. The psychology here is that humans have a limited capacity for deep emotional connection. When that capacity gets redirected to an affair partner, the marriage naturally becomes more superficial and transactional. You'll notice this in small ways first. She stops asking about your day with genuine interest. She doesn't share her frustrations or excitement like she used to. Conversations become functional rather than connective. Trick number 7, social media masking. Trick 7 exploits the fact that digital life often reveals more than real life because people feel safer expressing their true feelings online. Her social media hiding techniques are sophisticated. She gives hidden likes to specific profiles, not enough to be obvious, but enough to maintain connection. She might create fake accounts for stalking or communicating with affair partners. She posts seemingly innocent content that actually contains signals or references only certain people would understand. She might remove you from her close friends list while adding others. Her story viewers list changes, and certain people consistently appear at the top, indicating frequent interaction. The digital psychology is fascinating. Social media provides a sense of privacy and distance that makes people more likely to express genuine feelings. She might be more honest about her emotions in a DM than she is in person. Pay attention to changes in her social media behavior. If she becomes more secretive about her phone while being more active online, she's likely managing relationships you don't know about. Trick number 8, manufactured arguments. Number 8 is perhaps the most manipulative because it uses your emotions against you. She creates fights to create freedom. The pattern is strategic. She intentionally provokes arguments before she has plans to meet someone else. She uses these manufactured conflicts as justification for leaving the house. When she says, "I need to cool off," or "I need space," she's really saying, "I have somewhere else to be." The psychological trick here is brilliant and cruel. Guilt makes her aggressive. Instead of dealing with her shame about the affair, she projects it onto you through conflict. By making you the problem, she justifies her escape. She might pick fights about minor issues that never bothered her before. She might become hypercritical of things you've always done. The timing is the key indicator. If these fights consistently happen before she leaves the house, they're not real conflicts. The cruelest part is that these manufactured arguments often address real relationship issues, but they're not brought up for resolution. They're brought up for ammunition and justification. Trick number 9, the micro-reaction test. The final trick is the most revealing because it's the one she cannot fake. Her body betrays her loyalty. This is the most sophisticated test because it targets involuntary responses. She can control her words, her facial expressions, even her tone of voice. But she cannot fully control her autonomic nervous system. Here's what to watch for. When certain names are mentioned, she might have a slight pause before responding. Her breathing pattern might change almost imperceptibly. You might notice micro-tension in her shoulders or jaw. Her eyes might look away for a split second before she regains composure. The science behind this is that the nervous system responds to emotional significance faster than conscious thought. When she hears the name of someone she's emotionally involved with, her body reacts before her mind can suppress the response. What makes this test so powerful is that it's nearly impossible to fake or control. She might rehearse what to say if you ask direct questions, but she cannot rehearse how her nervous system will respond to unexpected mentions of significant people. Pay attention to these micro-reactions during casual conversation. If mentioning a particular person or place consistently triggers subtle physical responses, there's emotional significance there that she's trying to hide. This is the one she cannot fake. Her body betrays her loyalty every time. Your worth as a man isn't determined by whether someone chooses to be faithful to you. Your value comes from who you are as a person, not from someone else's decision to honor or betray your trust. A strong man doesn't ignore warning signs to keep peace. A wise man doesn't choose comfortable lies over difficult truths.